Alright, I'm en route right now to that piece of public ground. I got about 10-15 minutes to go yet until I get there. Got some food in me, some water. Actually got a whole case of water because it's pretty warm today, and I'm pretty sure I'll be needing it. This piece of public ground we're going to, it's pretty much a big chunk of timber. It looks like there's some swampy, marshy stuff on the one edge, and then the north side, it does butt up to some private that has some crop fields. I'm hoping that kind of as that swamp snakes its way along that one edge there, that it kind of channels activity a little bit. Where I'm from in Pennsylvania, there's a lot of roll and hills and stuff. You know, a few hundred feet of topography change from one area to the next. Down here, you might see 5 to 10 feet or something like that change over an area, but it really isn't much terrain change. What you do see a lot of, though, is different kind of softer transition edges where like pines meet hardwoods, or swamp and marshy stuff, fraggrass meets open timber. There is some kind of holly bushes down here. They have these holly thickets, and they kind of create a similar like to pines. And that edge between the holly bushes and the open hardwoods is where you can often find some travel and activity. So the plan is, I guess it's possible to find Sika where we're going. I don't know if they get this far north. I'm sure occasionally one turns up, but mostly we're looking for is whitetail sign here. Well, I got to the back of this public piece, and actually, I didn't realize it, but it's hard to tell. You kind of maybe see it through here. Kind of see how it gets lower out through there. About 70-80 yards that way is the edge of the marsh, and there's actually some pretty good size kind of pools and areas that seem to kind of funnel deer this way. And what's crazy here is that it's pushing them right up against this field edge I'm standing by. I guarantee deer are funneling between the swamp and this field. And I checked this sandy soil down here. We got some rain yesterday, so it's hard to tell, but there's fresh tracks right here. Fresh tracks. You can see how also corn here is knocked over and eaten. I like this spot. I like what it's doing. I'm not big on field edges. Hunting in Pennsylvania, everybody watches too much TV, it seems like, and or too much YouTube. And they see what guys do, like in the Midwest, that own big chunks of ground, and they sit and hunt field edges. And usually deer, especially the bigger deer, aren't even getting to those fields till after dark. So I've always hunted bedding areas, but I like this how this pinches down. I'm going to check back here for the stick stuff. There might be bedding back here, and this might be a really cool spot. That swamp, actually, there's sections that are almost deep enough to kayak, and I think the one little chunk, I might be able to get a kayak into the one pool, row about 100 yards, portage like 50, and then row into like 200 yards and get me right into this. And nothing to expect water access on this. No, I don't know anybody's doing that. So let's keep on scouting. All right, I pulled back into the woods off that field edge. There's a drainage down here, and I want to get down there. Again, this is me being used to the rolling areas, the rolling hills where I live. A lot of times trails are easy to pick up at creek crossings and stuff. So I kind of wanted to see if anything crossing into this field. When I got down in there, it's like a swamp. It's not really a drainage, and it's pretty nasty. I stepped in a couple spots and went up to them as a waist in mud. So I'm not going through that anymore. I'm going back up toward the field edge now again. I'm only about 40-50 yards off the field. I'm getting some greenbrier here. I'll keep pushing through. There's got to be some bedding up through here somewhere, because I don't think they're going too deep into here, as nasty as back here. I mean, they could go into that swamp if they wanted to, but I think under normal conditions they probably get right on the edge, and that's about it. So I'll go up here and see what I can find. Alright, I walked about 25-30 yards from where I just was talking. And check this out. See this little high spot in the bed right there? A little high spot right there. But then this one I saw just past it. Check out this bed. This is a big bed too. Here's my backpack. It dwarfs my backpack. All the way over here. Deer's looking toward me. Wind kind of this way. That's north. Up there, he's probably watching this. He could be watching this swamp rain coming across on a north wind. And I don't almost feel like south winds. You could probably lay here too. scent check with the swamp behind him, kind of watch toward the field. Maybe when the leaves are down, you might be able to see out there. Right now you can't. A lot of this is holly though, I'm not really sure. But it's nasty. There's a lot of greenbrier, just thick stuff. But 2 matted down beds right off the edge of this swampy stuff and about probably 35, 40 yards from the field. So I'm really liking that. I'm never going to be able to get into this right here to hunt, like it's at this bed. It's just, you can see, it's holly, greenbrier everywhere. I'm going to be tore up coming out of here, I know that. But I still think maybe on the right winds, I can pull back, get down in that corner and maybe kill these deer going up this field. Notice though, a lot of this greenbrier here. You can see this all over the place. It's all nipped off. See, that's all from browsing. Been here browsing this greenbrier off. Still cooking here in the woods. I just jumped a buck. He was bedded this holly bush right here, right underneath it. I'm only 15 yards off this field edge. It is nasty, greenbriery thick down through this swampy bottom here. So I'm really thinking that I need to be just off the field edge, only basically because I can't get in any quieter. The buck wasn't huge. He was maybe a 100-inch 8-point, but still, he was here, and it's just kind of reaffirms what I'm doing. So I like this spot. I'm excited. I'm not sure what's going to happen when that corn comes down, if it's going to help or hurt this spot, but I think this little secluded corner against this public, as long as not everybody and their brothers up in it, should be pretty decent. But we'll see. Time will tell. I'm on a different piece of public now. Probably maybe 5 miles or so, 7 miles from the last one. Hiking on this logging road here, and I got way back. And I'm finding actually, right here is it's hard to tell because it's full of leaves right now, but licking branch right here, and a scrape right here on this logging road. It's the 4th one I've seen now. First one I couldn't tell because I thought it might be turkey scratch and I wasn't a licking branch, but the last 3 have had licking branches, and it looks like the deer is walking this logging road along the back of this kind of this thicket. This logging road is probably the path least resistance, and that's probably what that's about. But I'm gonna kind of walk it out here and see if what's going on. But it might be a decent ambush just to kind of watch this logging road. All right, I cut 2 real heavy trails. The later of the 2 trails had 2 good rubs I could see from the logging road along it. So I'm following them back into this thicket. It's real nasty. It's a lot of pine and holly in here. They're kind of faint, but here's a trail. There's been rubs. I've been passing rubs. So it looks like this goes out a little ways. It comes to like a little point overlooking the marsh. I'm pretty sure that's where the deer will bed out there. And the ticket is to kind of get in here close. I don't see any browse here, so I don't think he'd feed in any of this. So if he is bedding close, he probably would make it through this, before shooting light is over, like an evening hunt. But I'm gonna get in here a little further, just kind of go a little further back to this point. I really like to pin down something on this knob, because the signs here, there's definitely good rubs and stuff. So let's keep picking my way through this area here. It's kind of interesting. I got the marsh flanking me here on my right, like 30 yards from me, and this trail is just inside it in this woods. Kind of parallel on the edge. Right there's the edge of the marsh. We're right on this edge here. My concern is I'm getting toward that point where he's probably going to bed, and it's just getting thicker and thicker, and my concern is I'm just going to spook him out of here. I don't know, I might have to walk in this deer trail to get in here, because that marsh over there is pretty nasty. So I'm gonna pull back here probably 40, 50 yards, and try to see what I can make out of that. Alright, I figured out what I want to do with this spot here. I'm on the edge of the marshy part. Right here it is, kind of coming like this. That line basically is running darn near north to south. The trails kind of go slowly from the northwest to southeast across this point. So I could see this deer bedding on this point on north type winds, and what I'm thinking is if he is out here on north type winds, as long as I stay to this side of it, all the trails are going to be kind of upwind of me, and my scent will be blowing on like a north wind blowing out of this marsh straight over my shoulder here, and he's going to be coming from this, kind of thread the needle a little bit. I mean, if he would happen to cut to his left coming out of his bed and go 40 yards to the left further than these trails, he's going to get my wind. But I think keeping the trails to my east and everything that way, there's a couple trees right here that might work out. Okay, I kind of circled this area a couple times and just double checked the sign I was seeing. Definitely trails parallel this transition line, one right here on it, and then the other ones inside the woods there, like 25-30 yards off of it. The middle one kind of, is the one that has a lot of the rubs and buck sign. Had a couple sets of good sized tracks too. So I've been eyeing up this pine tree right here. Out the back, you can see there's a big beechnut tree back there. We're just past it, and an opening is where those trails go past. So I could shoot that from this tree. I'll probably face kind of toward the camera slightly, shoot over my shoulder that way, my right shoulder, and then back here over my left shoulder, kind of right down the transition line, I can shoot that opening there. There is some deer trails kind of going across like this, about 20 yards out. Got this tree picked out. I dropped a pin on it. Everything to do that is I'm going to map a route out of it, because it's pretty thick in here, and I'm going to want to get in here quiet. I don't have too far to go, probably 150 yards, maybe 200 at most, but I got to do it quiet, so we'll see what happens here. But I like what's going on here. I like this setup. Feeling pretty good. 9 spots today. That's pretty awesome. I need to jump in some water or something, and I definitely need to drink some water. All right, see you guys in the woods.